Hey, what's up guys, Syed here, and beside me is Patrick.
Hello.
So right now we are in the 2013 Audi A7 2.8 Sportback, and Patrick is the owner, so he's nice enough to let us review his car today. Before we begin, let me just give you some context for this car. This is a 2013 Audi A7 2.8, and in this generation, the 2015 Audi A7, you could actually get it in two different variants, correct? The 2.8 and
correct.
the 3.0.
3.0, yes.
Yeah. So even though the engine difference is only like 200cc, which may seem very small, the difference in performance and power is actually quite big on paper. Even though both cars came with a V6 engine, the price difference between this and the 3.0 back in 2015 was about 60k. So it's quite a big difference. And even though both have the S-tronic gearbox and both are all-wheel drive, performance is very different. For example, this one, the 2.8, came with about 201 horsepower.
Yes, correct.
201 horsepower.
Yep.
Whereas the 3.0 Audi A7 came with about 310 horsepower. So that's about 109 horsepower difference just from 200cc of engine difference. And also this car, the 2.8 Audi A7, does 0 to 100 in about 8.3 seconds, whereas the 3.0 Audi A7 does it in about 5.6 seconds. So that's like almost 3 seconds faster, which in car time it's actually quite a big difference. Okay, so Patrick, I understand that you bought this car in 2015 when this car was 2 years old.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
So you've owned this car for coming to like 5 years
Close
now.
to 5 years.
Yeah. So how's your first question? How's your overall experience like?
Okay, I think this car currently is driven by my wife.
I see. Oh yeah.
I'm driving a AQ7 rather.
AQ7.
So I think when I first drove this car for around 3 years, right? I think it does give a very nice experience because the car is low slung.
Yes.
And I think the car, you can feel that, right?
Yeah,
I think,
very
and it's sitting on 20-inch wheels, so it does a bit more firm.
Yes.
So sometimes if you hurt your back, you really, you can feel it. Then the car itself, I think I like the Sportback format. I like the silhouette and the way
it's very unique lah.
Yeah, it's very unique.
My second question is actually, why did you buy this car out of all the cars on the market?
Okay, because I'm into Audis.
I
told you before. Driven. I think so far this is the fourth Audi.
Yes, fourth Audi. You own A1, A4,
A7 and Q7. Yeah. So prior to this car, it was A4.
A4. Which one was it? The 1.8.
The B8.
B8.
1.8 turbo.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, so why I buy this car, because I think I'm on the market to look for a 4-seater. Okay. Because I have family, and also I think I want to look for something sporty and yet it's more practical. So I think when I chanced upon this car, it was like perfect.
Okay. Between this and the A5 Sportback, why did you opt for this one?
I think I didn't find one very good, nice A5.
Oh, you couldn't find a
A5, in a way.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think A5 is very similar to A4. It's the same chassis, I think.
Correct.
So I think the interior looks exactly the same. There's no point to upgrade.
Okay.
So when it comes to A7, the whole thing
totally different.
Yeah.
So far, your ownership experience, how, like on a scale of like maybe 1 to 10, how would you rate it? Like 10 being the best.
I think for the money to spend, and it's not really very high in terms of like Porsche type of price. I think it would be close to 9.
In terms of like the
value for money,
the experience, everything.
Correct.
Okay. What do you like most about this car?
Yeah, I think I mentioned is the low slung look.
The low slung, okay.
And I think the sportiness, and I think the power, even though just now you mentioned 201 horsepower, right? I don't. If you put it in sport mode, I think it doesn't feel it's feel quite.
The initial pull is
quite strong. So that's why I think it does not. I think it does seems like close to 250-ish horsepower.
It feels more powerful than actually is.
Right.
I think you're right, because previously like I drove the 523, also about 201 horsepower, but it doesn't. The pull isn't like this. So what do you dislike about your car?
Dislike? I think good question. I think my parents don't like this car.
They like this car because
especially when
it's quite low.
When they go out and in and out of the car, they don't like. That's I think the only thing I don't like about this car. And of course the petrol consumption, I think is terrible. It's very high. If I'm not wrong, it's around 7 kilometers per liter. 6 or 7. Yeah, quite.
I thought it was be a bit better.
Perhaps of my pedal.
You're quite heavy footed, is it?
Correct.
Okay. Actually, you're quite unique. Not say unique. You are quite a rare, small group of people who only stick to a certain brand.
I do drive other brands prior to this.
Okay.
But after which really now, probably my next car, I'm not so sure lah.
Okay.
But I think the new A7 is fantastic. The new one, really sexy looking. yeah.
So I mean, because how long have you driven Audis, like your A1, A4 all the way till this one?
I think
total
for around 6 years, 6 years plus.
6 years plus.
Yeah.
Oh, 6 years plus, you never.
Yeah, correct.
So after this traffic light turns green, then I'm gonna try. So yeah, sorry, you were saying?
Sorry, the question was?
Like how would you describe the drive of this car?
Drive of the car. I think I would say it's quite smooth.
So yeah, actually it is.
Yeah, it's quite smooth.
It's very smooth.
But you can hear a bit of tire noise because of it's quite a low profile tire. So and it's quite wide. So I think you can hear a lot of tire noise.
Yes.
Other than that, I think you wouldn't associate this with a very high-end luxury car because of the noise. There are a lot of road noise.
The way the car pulls is very smooth.
Yeah, correct.
Very smooth. It's like very elegant. It's
elegant.
not. Yeah, that's how I would put it. It's not it's not very sudden. It's very gradual, and it's very the way the car pulls very elegant. You don't get shocked.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I would describe it. It's a very nice feeling. It's a very like luxurious kind of refined.
Not so raw.
Yes. Very refined, very luxurious kind of feel. Exactly what you expect from this kind of like high-end car. And the steering wheel is very light. I think it's very easy to drive, right? Around, even though the car is not small, it's quite a wide and big car. It's actually to me lah personally, it feels easy to drive. I think one, not say issue, but something I noticed is like what Patrick mentioned earlier. The car is very low slung. So even right now, I can feel that I'm like sort of sunk in a bit. And
I can feel that.
Yeah, I can feel that. Yeah, the car is very low. Overall, I think it's practical. It's powerful enough. I think really it's powerful enough. Even though 201 horsepower. Yeah, it's just very smooth. And
you can feel that.
Yeah, very smooth.
I think the power is adequate.
Yeah, for Singapore roads, I think it's really adequate.
But then you reach the limit already.
Correct. Yeah, it's really, I think it's good enough, and because it's a 2.8 liter engine, the road tax it's quite expensive. Yeah, I think that's about it for this owner's review lah.
Thank you,
I don't really have much to say. Just my overall thoughts. It's a very smooth engine, very refined kind of drive. It's very low. I can feel it's very low. But I think visibility is no problems with visibility. Practicality, as Patrick mentioned, it's quite practical. Maybe the only downside is the center transmission tunnel, because it's an all-wheel drive car. So I mean that thing is very big. So you can fit 2 adults, but maybe 3 adults. I think not possible. How about the carby space? Last carby space, is it?
Yeah,
big?
It's quite big.
Okay.
Can put a lot of stuff.
So I mean practicality in terms of carby spaces also, I think is quite good lah overall. So that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this review. Hope you enjoyed it. Do subscribe because we do have car videos every week. And I'll see you guys in the next review.